Hi, portfolio preparation. How you guys doing? This is G420 and this is week 4. So here we are, folks. We're moving right along here, and um, I think we're making really good progress. I think everybody has a really good idea of where they're going and how they want to do it. So that's excellent. I think a lot of the problem so far has been finding pieces to accommodate the requirements. So those of you who are, most of you are pretty much on track. I think a couple are kind of trying to stretch your pieces to their maximum. And that's not really what you want to do in portfolio. In portfolio, you don't show a piece more than once in the portfolio. Okay, keep that in mind. So if you use a piece in your design applications requirements, you don't want to use it later on in another piece. Okay, so a few of you had some comments regarding that, and that's what that meant. So what I want to do is I just want to say here we are for week 4, and this is week 4. Right now I'm in the portfolio Unity page. This is the first page of week 1, and I want to draw your attention here to this portfolio spotlight right here, and this is from Eugene Roca. So I'm just going to click him right open. And I want to show you this portfolio. This is good. This is good stuff. It's just taking a second to load. Okay, and this is, I can't really. Yeah, I guess I can. So, anyways, there's the spreads. Let me see if I can. Okay, so anyways, well, you guys have this, but anyways, I just want to mention something about this. Okay, there's a couple of things about this that are working very, very well, and that is the logo, the whole typography is working very well. Typography is handled quite nicely on this piece. So I don't even really want to look at the pieces, but I do want to mention one thing I'm not particularly too fond of in this particular piece is. Okay, here's the spreads. Okay, there's page 1. And then here's the contents page. This would be the facing page. This is how it would be facing with the book open. Okay, and then here's the first page. And you have poacher thinking outside the box, and then the explanation right here. Okay, so here would be a second piece, all right? And the one thing I don't like about this is that the typography is located in a different location. I think your typography should be located on the same spot on every page. Therefore, your viewer won't be confused at all. Another thing about this piece that I want to draw your attention to is the fact that the margins are not even. Okay, if you look over here, you see this little tiny tight margin here overlapping the numbers in the logo. Then you see over here you have this wider margin. Excuse me. And that's something we really want to pay attention to as well. Personal preference for me is to show one piece on each spread. Okay, so what do I mean by that? One piece on each spread. What I would do with this piece is I would show this piece, okay, this poster right here. Okay, so I would show this piece on the left-hand side of the spread in its entirety, or I would just zoom into a really, like maybe this area right here in the typography, okay, or maybe just an area like this right here, if you can see my mouse right there, and blow that up, zoom into that, and show that big like this, the whole page. Show it big. Show close-ups of your typography, folks. If it's good. If it's not good, don't show close-ups. And then, as this would be the same piece for both spreads, I would say, show this close-up right here on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, you'll show, the whole version, the whole poster, and then maybe a couple of so that would be, and then maybe a couple of shots of your digital spread. So in your grid, it would be like this. There would be your original poster, and then maybe here would be a digital shot. Here would be a digital shot following the grid, and then maybe down here even a placement shot, meaning that you would take this poster, you would put it in Photoshop, and you would find an image of a bus shelter or something with a poster window in it, and place it in there in Photoshop and make it look like it's in a live setting. And that goes for all of these pieces. All of your pieces do that. It's just really a great way to show your work in action. as it were. Okay, so and then again we have this broken grid over here, which I'm not crazy about. Okay, so you have this top margin here. Okay, it's not consistent here, nor is it in the other pages. So just want to draw your attention to that. Other than that, I mean, the work looks great. The work looks really good. Um, I'm more of a fan of following a tight grid and placing your typography in the same spot in each page. So as long as you're aware of that, you can go ahead and take a look at that on your own. That's again, that's in that portfolio spotlight here in the portfolio Unity page. That's page 1 of week 4. Okay, and then I'm going to move along here to a couple other different resources here listed over here. Click to explore. This is pretty good stuff here too. There's a lot of really great resources here. Now we have a little bit of talk about rendering. Again, choose your browser here. I'm just going through the week. I'm not doing anything crazy here. But anyways, I would just want to draw your attention here to a typography. This is the page on typography for this week, and this is really super important. So please pay attention to this. Please pay attention to this typography page. Very important. Most important part of your portfolio is typography. Bar none, that is the most important thing. Okay, and anybody who tells you different is wrong. Okay, so here's your computer software and proficiency. Look, I just want to show you, okay, pre-pressed yesterday and pre-pressed today. This is pretty important. You guys, you know, I'm going to tell you something. I think one thing that a lot of college design students come out of school with is a lack of knowledge of press. And it's understandable because it's just difficult to get people together, especially in an online program, have them walk through a printing press and walk through a pre-press room and so on and so forth. So that's understandable, but I want you to take a look at over here. These are some design videos, and these are good. These are good. A lot of these are on TED Talks. If you're not familiar with TED Talks, go into this one right here, Eve Behar, and good stuff there. Okay, then we have assignment 1. It's another writing assignment, guys, and do a good job on it. Do your research, do presentation, everything I'm expecting. Don't spend all week on it. We got a lot of work to do on the portfolio end of things this week, so keep that in mind. So moving right to portfolio end of things here, we have this week, we have our corporate identity, our 5 components. And I just want to talk about corporate identity for 1 second. And before I do so, I want to go back to week 1, assignment 3. And I want to take a look at our corporate identity. Okay, so week 4, just to summarize what I'm doing again. Week 4, your work due for your portfolio this week is your corporate identity pieces, your 5 pieces. So I'm just summarizing what's in the corporate identity 5 pieces by going back to week 1, assignment 3, where it was first introduced. Okay. So let's click over there and let's take a look at the corporate identity section. And this is what we have. So you need 5 pieces here, guys. All right. And it's these things, okay? A letterhead, business card, and envelope, label, envelope. That is one of the requirements, not 3. Letterhead, business card, envelope is a very basic business stationery system, and it's usually the ground floor. It's usually where you start with your identity system. So that's pretty much a must. And then you have vehicle or apparel wraps or signage. Signage, wayfinding signs, brochures, DVD and CD packaging, a website, and other relevant innovative applications, a style guide, and a logo sheet. Okay. So look forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, definitely. I just want to talk just 1 second about week 2. I'm sorry, week 3. Wanted to talk about this just a second, this advertising campaign. So, I'd like you guys to take a really close look at this as you're working towards more towards the ending your portfolio or continuing with your portfolio, because the pieces that are in here are really, really important. Remember, this is your portfolio. You want to put your best foot forward. So you really want presentation to be important here. And we really haven't even gotten into presentation as far as how we're going to set up the individual pages of our portfolios yet. We'll get into that. Right now, I'm just looking at the work, okay? So let's please understand that. From here, we'll just finish out these requirements, and then I'll spend the last. I'm going to start talking, as you noticed, this week I started talking about your page setup. So I started describing a couple of things that you might want to do. Start really paying attention to grid and take a look at some of the announcements that I left last week and really start thinking about how you're going to set that thing up. Okay, everyone's doing great. You guys are spot on. I sent an email out regarding where you guys are at as far as where are you at with the class? Are you guys digging this or what? Are you liking it? I'm loving what you guys are doing, and I'm just wanting a little feedback about what do you think I'm doing? How am I doing? What would you like to see me doing differently or continue doing or whatever the case may be? So really always interested in that, guys. Always interested in the student's perspective. So all right, that's all I have, and I'll see you guys in discussion board. Thanks. Have a great week.